Disney is bad. Look at Disney. Bet you're thinking to yourself, wow, I never Encanto'd something this bad, but Disney animation is good. Sometimes extremely bland, boring, and disgusting. But every so often, Disney animation looks at themselves and says, hey, let's create a beautiful, unforgettable masterpiece. I mean, why not, right? And create unforgettable experiences like The Little Mermaid, a movie about a talking fish girl wanting to indulge on new fascinating experiences, or at least fascinating to a stupid fish. Initialize war on all fishes, yeah, I said it. With incredible animation and super fun, catchy music. Emperor's New Groove, a redemption story of an evil ruler learning empathy and friendship on an incredible journey. Oh yeah, somewhere in the middle there, he got turned to a llama. If you haven't seen the movie, screw you, go watch it. I ain't gonna tell you how that happened. On an incredible journey with hilarious, unforgettable jokes and incredibly well-written, fun characters. I love Disney animated movies. They can be so freaking good sometimes. But I don't want to talk about those films today. I want to talk about my favorite Disney animated movie. Now, for years, there has always been two Disney movies in a heated battle for the title of the best Disney film, in KShot's opinion. And those two films were Lilo and Stitch and The Lion King. With Lilo and Stitch being like, well, I'm a down-to-earth movie about a troubled child who is in the midst of healing for the loss of her parents, who meets an alien who literally is built to destroy and befriends him, teaching him right from wrong and showing him that he has purpose beyond what he was created for, in this heartwarming, charming, funny, incredible film about family and friendship. And Lion King's just like, well, I'm an incredibly iconic film about a young boy whose father is killed by his own uncle and is manipulated to believing that it's his fault, and now has to learn to overcome his fears and insecurities to become the rightful king to his throne and bring peace to his kingdom in a dramatic, charming, heartbreaking, heartwarming roller coaster of a cinematic masterpiece. Well, at least I'm not a ripoff. Oh, why you little? Come here, get down with this, you motherfucker. Sorry, this has been happening for years now. Well, at least it did, up until I saw Encanto. Encanto. Oh, I love this movie, Encanto. Now, I don't know what Encanto means. I think it means charmed, which is fitting because this movie is charming as hell. There's an extra level of care and effort and polish that I frankly have not seen in a Disney movie in a very long time. The movie starts with this tragic backstory that's actually told in a kind of lighthearted tone, but not because it's a kid's movie, no, but because you can tell that this character is just trying to look on the bright side on the other hand, tragic and traumatic event that happened in her life. And that's why this movie is so special. The characters. On a surface level, this movie is about a magic candle that gives magic powers, and the magic is going away. And the main character, without magic, has to stop the magic from going away. Notice how many times I said magic while describing the plot of this movie. Meanwhile, the magic is not the only focus of this movie. When you actually sit down and watch it, in reality, it's the characters. Their wants, their insecurities, who they are as people, and how they grow as people as the story continues. And it brilliantly uses its first song to introduce you to these characters before the movie can truly begin, and you can actually get to know who these characters are and why you should care about them. You got Abuela, she kinda sucks at first, but she's also the kingpin, original gangster of this household. You also got Bruno, son of Abuela. We don't talk about Bruno. Let's talk about Bruno, because I feel so bad for this character for the majority of the movie, just falsely accused left and right of heinous crimes like killing goldfish, all because he has an amazing power where he can see the future, and he was just giving them a heads up. Hey, I actually looked up and found out that if you keep on feeding your goldfish all those cheeseburgers, it might not be so good for the little guy. He actually might die. Look what you did! You people do realize that when you know something bad is gonna happen in the future, it kinda gives you a better chance of avoiding it now, right? What are you, stupid? His sister Julieta, who heals people with food because food is always the solution, isn't that right past me? Peppa, whose gift feels more like a curse than anything. Dolores, who has super hearing, that's actually one of my favorite characters, mainly because of how much detail this movie puts in every time she's on screen. Like covering her ears whenever there's a loud noise, or even even when she's screaming herself, or her tapping her fingers instead of clapping because it's just as loud to her. God, I love this movie. Mwah! Isabella, who can make a bunch of pretty flowers, boring power, down to hell you go. Luisa, who has super strength. Camilo, who can shapeshift, coolest power in my opinion. Antonio, who can talk to animals. And finally, Mirabel, whose superpower is nothing.
She got no Look powers. At her, she's normal.
Wait, I have no powers. Now, Mirabel is my favorite character of all time. I know I just bullied her, but she's actually me. So, in reality, I bullied myself because I got no powers. I checked this morning, I just broke my legs. But that's not the only reason why I see myself in Mirabel. It's because she's such a relatable character, especially if you have older siblings, because you're gonna look up to them. You're gonna see the greatness in them, and since you're so focused on what makes them great, you can begin to ignore all the things that make you great, and it can become a deep level of insecurity, and we can definitely see this in Mirabel. She tells herself and others that she's just as special as everyone else in her family, but we know that that's not how she really feels, and it finally breaks out in one of the most powerful songs in the movie, Waiting on a Miracle. We can see every level of insecurity she has and all her wants and desires in this spectacular music video with incredible animation, and as the movie goes on, we start to see that it's not just Mirabel who has insecurities, but that even the people that she looks up to so much has flaws that they can see in themselves as well. And we even get to see those insecurities in the next songs. This movie is like Insecurities, the musical. You got Luisa with her gift being her immense strength, so they brilliantly made her insecurity caring way too much about letting other people down. Her gift of being strong makes her not want to be seen as weak. She's so afraid of failure that it makes her emotional, but failing and being emotional is seen as weak to her, thanks in part to how we act as a society. But it's not true. It's not weak to fail. It's not weak to be emotional. Everyone fails every once in a while. Everyone has emotions. And this is a lesson she has to learn as the story goes on. We next have Isabella, whose insecurity is the fact that she feels that she has to act the way other people tell her to. She can't be herself because she doesn't think anyone would like the real her. And that again is just not true. These amazing songs let these characters open up to both Mirabel and us and make Mirabel realize that her sisters aren't these perfect beings. They're human beings. We're all just human beings. We all have flaws. We all have insecurities. We're all equal. We don't need to put anyone above us and make us feel worse about ourselves. We can embrace the greatness that they do and not forget the greatness in us. And it's just one powerful message in a whole heap of great life lessons that this whole family gets to learn. Abuela also has a great arc where she realizes that she's been caring more about keeping the magic alive and neglecting who the magic's gift was for in the first place. They all learn that their gifts isn't what makes them special, it's them. They are what makes them special. It's such a great message to both kids and adults, and that's what this movie is all about, and that's why this movie is so special to me, because it reminds me what it means to be human. In such an imaginative, powerful, incredible movie with fun characters, incredible writing, breathtaking animation, amazing music, there's just so much detail in every scene, so much foreshadowing that makes this movie so rewatchable, with an incredible satisfying ending. This movie is an instant classic. I'm gonna be enjoying this film for years to come, and it quickly became my favorite Disney film of all time. Thank you for watching, and I dedicate this video to my brother and sister. Good night, everybody.